What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this 2024 Ford F-150. This is an STX, finished in Oxford white, and it's going to be going for around $52,000. STX is a pretty unique trim. It's more of a basic truck. However, it does have basically a sporty appearance package and the nice digital screens inside. So pretty cool setup for sure. Underneath the hood, this is going to be powered by one of the EcoBoost motors. This is the 2.7 liter V6. It pumps out 325 horsepower with 400 pound-feet of torque paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. This one is four-wheel drive. Towing capacity is about 7,500 pounds. Curb weight's about 5,000 pounds. Also runs on a 36-gallon fuel tank. You're looking at 18 miles per gallon in the city with 23 out on the highway. Taking a look at the styling, I really like the new grille on this 2024. It looks really cool. Definitely a sporty looking truck. I love the LED design for the headlights, all dark housing with this cool amber light right in the center. And they're kind of three-dimensional. This kind of sticks out a little bit. Got some gray color surrounding the entire grille, and then this cool texture on the mesh in the center. There are active grille shutters down there as well. And then the Ford logo is actually even white and blue. So it looks really good, especially on the white truck here. You can see the LED fog lights, body color front bumper, got an air dam down below along with the metal tow hooks, and then another large opening in the center to provide cooling to the radiator and intercooler. Pretty good looking truck from the front. And then on the hood, you have the nice sharp lines to it. It looks like a Ford truck, so definitely they have kept all the style together for this newest generation. You have a nice set of two-tone colored wheels, 20-inch diameter. I like the multi-spoke look as well. Then you have some sharp body lines surrounding the front fender. The badge here even has this lime green, kind of yellowish color, which is a pretty unique touch. And then we just have some plastic for the mirrors, as well as the door handles. You can see more of the black plastic trim surrounding all the windows. And then this is the Super Crew Cab, along with that 5.5-foot bed. So a very proportional truck. These are very common sizes. Seems like a lot of people like the short beds, the big cab. Good looking truck from the side. You have sharp lines in the lower portion of the doors. Same with the rear fender arch. Of course, your 4x4 badge. And a nice set of red LED taillights. You can see all the contours in the tailgate, backup camera, Ford logo, F-150 stamped into it. And then you can see your body color bumper with all the parking sensors and trailer hitch connections. Manually opening this up, there are these cool C-clamps right here, so you can actually clamp like a 2x4 or something, and if you're really going to use this for a work truck, you can use this as your workbench. Body colored all in here, so great area to do a spray and bed liner. There's even a little bit of storage on the left and right side. Doesn't really weigh all too much, we can easily close that up. Good looking truck. I think overall F-150, can't complain. For the interior, just finished off in black. You have this plastic textured material on the door. You can also see a cup holder, and then I like all this lime stitching. So it matches that exterior badge pretty nicely. We have a 3-person bench seat back here, and you can easily lift this up. It'll lock into place, and you have a lot of storage. From here, we can unlock it, put it back down, and climbing into the back, you have a lot of room in the F-150. With the driver's seat on my height, I have a lot of knee room and leg room. Great amount of headroom and visibility. There's no center armrest, which is kind of a bummer, but we have cup holders here, your air vents, you have a 12-volt USB ports, and storage all throughout the doors. So overall, this is definitely a pretty practical truck. Hopping out, taking a look at the driver's seat. With this, we also do have the manual turn key. So it takes some getting used to. I'm not used to that in new vehicles. Door panels finished off very similar. There's a little bit extra storage in it. And then you can also see manual controls for the seats. You have the bar up front to slide it forwards and back. And then we have the cool texture to it and all of that lime color stitching. From here, we can go ahead and insert the key and fire it up. All your screens are going to turn on. Pretty cool depictions to everything. On the steering wheel now, we have cruise control and audio controls on it, along with different Bluetooth settings, and then a control panel for that center screen. So if we just exit out of that, you can see the My View. You can scroll through all of these different settings. You have off-road. Going into here, you have a compass that'll pop up. Of course, you can configure a few different things for off-road, which is a really nice touch. Going back, you can see towing, status, more things like that. and then back into my view, where you can then scroll up and down and see all sorts of different information. So nice screen, you got a lot on it. Definitely a cool way to do it all. Menu icon as well, go back to your screen. Drive modes are down here. If you just toggle this one way, you can go into quite a few of the different drive modes. So nice to see all that in a truck like this, and you got a cool depiction for each drive mode. You also have all your four-wheel drive controls right around that. Stock on the right side is for your gear selector. We have a manual icon, plus and minus. And going into reverse, you can see that backup camera with those guidelines and parking sensors. Going back into park, the tow mode is actually pretty cool looking with that design. On the left side, we have some headlight controls, interior dimming, park and brake, and then more of this textured plastic for the dash. There's a little bit of storage up on top, a huge storage area on the far right side, traction control, shortcut to the camera, and then our 12-inch screen. So kind of typical, like any of the modern Fords, you have all your information for audio, phone integration, along with navigation. You can of course make it full screen, which is a really good touch for such a big screen. So I feel like Ford does a good job just utilizing everything on the screen. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a few more settings within the truck you're able to adjust, then you have a few features. On the far right side, I like how you can scroll this up and down and see all sorts of different things of information. And then on a few of them like this, you can just swipe it over and it pops it into the main screen. So I think they've done a good job with this screen. You have controls down below for audio, volume, fan speed down below, along with all your temperature control, zones, and then a lot of storage all throughout the center. Lots of it, different plugs, far right side, storage down here as well. Nice armrest. When you press this and open it up, you have even more storage. This is a huge area, and this is lockable as well. Good sized glove box. And then one last look at the interior. Not bad in here. You know, it's kind of basic, of course, nothing all too fancy. Got a rubber steering wheel, you know, no leather or anything genuine, just a lot of plastic. But nonetheless, for the price point, for being a full-size, very capable truck that can be a good workhorse with really good technology, I don't think you can complain too much. Black headliner, sunglass holder, all your dome lights, and then a nice mirror. So setting off now in the STX, getting up to some speed. Normal drive mode, this thing's actually really peppy. You know, not everyone may like the 2.7 EcoBoost. Obviously, this is kind of a baby engine. This is actually pretty darn quick to drive. It doesn't feel at all like it's stressing. And I do say, when you go into sport mode, this actually drives a lot more like peppy. It feels a lot lighter on its toes. Give it some gas, it pulls pretty good. When you go into the manual shift mode as well, it's decently responsive for, you know, if you do need to take control, especially if you're towing or something, you need a little bit more control of the transmission. That is a nice design. So we'll go into eco mode. So overall, this is a pretty nice truck to drive. You know, you feel nice and high up. It certainly is a full-size truck. It's not a Ranger, so you can definitely notice the sizing to it. The hood is pretty wide, however, it seems to dip downwards to where you really feel almost like you're in like a box van or something, to where the hood dips down and you just see straight ahead. So you have a really good view out the front. The only complaint with the side view mirrors is they actually feel pretty small. This is a good sized truck, but when you look in the mirrors on the side, they just seem like they are just so tiny. I wouldn't mind them being a little bigger. Same with that mirror, they're actually all really small. Great visibility over your right and left shoulders, like any pickup truck is gonna be. Just wouldn't mind bigger mirrors. You have huge windows. I mean, these things are massive, so much light in here. I mean, obviously you can definitely see around really well. The steering is pretty light and easy. It drives pretty normal. I mean, it doesn't drive like an abrupt, rough truck or anything like that. The suspension absorbs the bumps really well. I mean, it's a smooth place to be. The 10-speed transmission also seems to do a great job. It's not abrupt, hitting bumps, you know, you're not like breaking your back or anything. So I feel like it's a nice riding vehicle to where, honestly, for a daily driver or something like that, whether it's gonna be a family daily or more of a work truck for you, honestly, I feel like you can just drive it and you're not gonna get tired or fatigued being behind the wheel. It's just really easy to maneuver. It's definitely big, so 3-point turns, things like that, you know, it's gonna take a little bit. The turning circle, let's do that real quick. You have to turn the steering wheel several times. Not too bad, you know, not bad for a full-size truck and everything. I will say though, the brakes are really touchy. I don't know if that's just being brand new or not, but you hit the brakes and there's a lot of brake dive. So you're hitting the brakes a lot, you might start getting a little seasick with the movement of this truck. But giving some gas. All I hear is my camera stuff in there sliding all over the place. But it's peppy. This is not a bad engine to be in. And then the overall interior, you know, again, for being more of a basic truck, obviously 50-something grand is not a cheap amount of money, and you are getting a plastic basic interior. I will say these screens are my favorite part. I've always been a fan of how Ford did it. It just looks good, it's easy to use. There is some lag on the screens, like when you do the drive mode, sometimes it takes a little bit to do its thing, which is a little bit annoying sometimes. And then the screen in the center, sometimes there's a lag when you hit things. So I like the way it looks and everything, just wouldn't mind if the lag could go away. That's probably my only complaint. But overall driving, you know, this feels like a truck that you can get used to very easily. You're gonna get comfortable in it. It's just an easy truck to drive on the day-to-day and use for everything. And I really don't have a complaint with that engine and transmission. Honestly, it feels really good with the truck. Gets up to speed really well for its weight, and seems like a nice truck overall without the extra bells and whistles, but it's nice enough in here to feel like a modern truck.